Hello everybody. Today I'm going to walk you through everything that I did and prepped for the week. So I started off with some dishes, of course, and then I'm making bread. So let's make some bread. I'm adding 1 cup of warm water, 2-ish tablespoons of honey. You can do honey, sugar, and then 1.5 teaspoons of instant dry active yeast. We are going to mix that up, and then we're going to let it froth for 5 to 10 minutes. So I did a little time lapse so you can see what that looks like. Once it gets nice and frothy, we're going to add 1 egg, 2 tablespoons of oil. I did olive oil, but you can do any oil or butter, and a teaspoon of salt, and then we're going to add 3 cups of flour and start to knead with, you can do it by hand or with your stand mixer if you have one with the bread hook. Add more flour if you need it, you probably will. Here I am testing the dough and it's still sticky. You should be able to make an indent and it's gonna kind of pop back out at you, and that's when it's ready. Here it's really sticky, so I added even more flour. And the rule is always just add, oh, here's MJ, just, add about a tablespoon at a time. The rule is you can always add more, but you can't take away. And here it's starting to do that, but I'm gonna add a little bit more flour. It's not quite popping back out at me as quickly as I'd like it to. Now I'm happy with that consistency, so I'm just going to knead it with my hand a couple times, and then I'm going to oil a bowl really well and place it in there with a damp towel over top of it and put it in a warm place. The oven with the light on is good, and we're going to let it rise for at least an hour. Okay, now I'm making more bread, but this time I'm using sugar instead. So 1 cup of water, 2 tablespoons of sugar, 1.5 teaspoons of active dry yeast. Let it get foamy, and then we're gonna add our salt, our egg, and our oil. This time I did butter. Again, 3 cups of flour and begin to knead. Continue to add more flour if you need. Haha. Wait until you get to that consistency. Now I'm making cake because I was really craving cake. But this is the same cake that I did for the cake pops in the previous prep video that I did. So 1/2 cup of butter and 1 cup of sugar creamed. I'm going to start with. Add egg and vanilla. I didn't have any vanilla, so I did maple syrup. Beat on high until combined, and then we're gonna add 1 2/3 cup of flour, 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder, 1/4 teaspoon baking soda, and 1/2 teaspoon of salt, and then 1 cup of milk. We're gonna mix all that together. So this would just be vanilla cake, and it's good on its own, but I decided to add sprinkles, lots of sprinkles to it, so it's like birthday cake kind of, or whatever the heck that flavor is. And then grease your pan, put your batter in, and place it in the oven. Preheat your oven to 350, and then cook for 30 to 36 minutes. Yum! And now we're on to banana muffins. I think I've shown these before too, but here I am mashing the bananas up, and then I'm adding half-ish a cup of brown sugar, an egg, maple syrup because I don't have vanilla, and coconut oil, and then my flour, and we're gonna mix all that together, baking soda, and salt, of course. And then this time for chocolate chips, this is all I had, so I did some little Reese's Minis and some chocolate sprinkles. Honestly, they turned out okay. Chocolate and banana is way better, to be honest. Bake at 375 for 8 to 25 minutes. Okay, on to chocolate muffins. So I think it was 1 cup of yogurt. It should be plain yogurt, but all I had was cherry, and then half a cup of milk, maple syrup because I didn't have vanilla, probably an egg, and some oil. Mix that all up. 1 teaspoon of baking soda, half-ish a cup of cacao powder, and 1 cup of flour, half a cup of sugar, half a cup of brown sugar, and then mix that. The batter turned out really thick, and then I put in these butterscotch chocolate chips or whatever that I had and scooped it in. I didn't really end up liking these at all. Probably I would have if it was plain yogurt, and also if there was maybe, I think I added too much of something because it's really thick. But Liam likes them, and he says they taste like Timbits, so I don't know. And then here's the cake. Pop them of muffins into the oven. And then I did a fish water change, super random, lol, but while those were baking. And then the cake was cooled, so I cut out a whole bunch of these little hearts with this heart cutter that I have. I think I got it from Winners a long time ago. But I made a whole bunch of these little hearts so they're cute. And I just left them like that. I didn't coat them in chocolate or anything this time, or even combine them with icing. Okay, once our dough is doubled in size, I am just cutting it into even-ish pieces and rolling them into balls, and then put them in a greased 9x13 pan. And then with the other dough, I made hamburger buns out of that same bread flour or bread dough that I made, and I added everything bagel seasoning on a couple, and then sesame seeds on some other ones. And yeah, here's everything that I made. And then the bread, it turned out so freaking good. I could have cooked them just a titch longer, but then we had burgers for dinner on our homemade buns. And that's everything. See you next time, guys. Bye. Thank you so much for watching.